People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This one is called These Little So-Called Gangsters Really Wangsters. Follow back a press button that always want to group up and act like them are some sorts of hyena, because the fact is that they are coward. However, they see strength in number. Like them say, unity is strength. Yes, it is if it is positivity. However, whenever you are involved in negativity and your cumble or your cronies, there is always going to be bad energy. What am I speaking about? About a case that occurred in Florida as it pertains to Squash and his cronies, Sinaway, Fredman, and other persons. Now we heard that Squash and a couple of other persons were locked up. Don't really know the details on other persons because we would consider them insignificant. However, they are significant to law enforcement. The information is kind of sketchy. It was said that they was at some sorts of business establishment. Seems as if they were trailed. Then there's also conflicting thing that they held them. They were in a vehicle, about 4 men or so, with some sorts of tool, get some sorts of pullover, and then them run a check. Whichever the case is, because Squash is the most notable name, that is the person that everybody have information on. However, based on the information, it is also said that the rest of these men, the 3 or 4 other men that was in the car, none of them don't have any sorts of paperwork. None of them paper no straight, none of them no have no green card, and even worse, the slightest or furthest thing from being any sorts of citizen of the United States. Now people, first thing first, when it comes to America, everything synchronized, meaning immigration, customs, ICE, border patrol, the registration office in which you get license, driver's license, registration, register your car, whatever. Everything is linked up. One system. So therefore, if you go apply for your driver's license, them are going to want social, them are going to want citizenship, them are going to want something. Not saying that you cannot drive on your Jamaica driver's license. However, if you get pulled over by the popo, more than likely, the popo are going to ask you, how long you there? When you're going back, is your papers, meaning visa, active? Is it expired? Did you come through our borders upon some sort of ship, spaceship, boat, whatever? Them are going to want to know, inquiring mind. That is how they remain a safe place for most people. Not saying that there's not any sorts of crime. However, them do them thing, them do them due diligence. It is not like Jamaica. So therefore, whenever them pull you over, them are going to run a check. Them are going to run a warrant check. Them are going to run in the database, which is link up state, federal, everybody. So therefore, even if one person in that vehicle have some sorts of warrants, worse if everybody in the hut, it is reasons for a search. It is reason to push it further, just to check, just to make sure. This is not like Jamaica, like me say. USA a different kettle of fish. Law enforcement do their due diligence. They think or they know that that is their civic duty. They are not going to leave any sorts of stones unturned. Now people, let's talk about all of the people that is alleged to have been in the vehicle. Sinaway. If you know Sinaway, Sinaway is that crosses man from Montego Bay. He is also a part of the 6. He was in Florida. He brought over a young man, Dujan. I did a couple of stories on that. Dijon was some sorts of mole. Dijon ended up taking away his daughter and his baby mother. You would have thought that when that happened, the fact that he was there, or he was the person or the target that they wanted. He was now state witness. So therefore, reasons for not going back to Jamaica, reasons for applying for asylum, you would have good footing on the fact that you were supposed to be state witness. Them never find Dijon yet. However, you was there because of that. One thing that we know about America and law enforcement, they look out for their own. Once you are talking parrot, doing your civic duty, they love you. You are now a part of law enforcement. However, instead of this man losing his daughter, losing his girlfriend, which the mother never liked him from day one because she saw him as some sorts of crosses. However, the girlfriend, like most girlfriends, young girls in Jamaica, them like careless, worthless, bad man, them want, na them whole crosses, man, and that crosses would come back and haunt them. So therefore, before this man did do the honorable thing, get justice for him daughter, sit down and wait for the people and catch the person that is a suspect, and then do what he had to do and get possible papers through asylum, because his life would definitely now be in danger, even though him a gunman that took away a whole bunch of people involved in all sorts of criminal mix-up, murder, you name it, A to Z. His name was being called up. However, his name was being called up, but we all know how America is. They are willing to dance with the devil, even if them know that them will get FUCK in the long run, just to get their target, just to achieve that objective, the person that they want to lock up for that double. So therefore, that is sin away. When we talk about Squash, we know that he is a certified idiot. We know that he is a certified hype man, because we would not believe that this boy wasn't straight. We would have thought that he was a citizen of the United States, the way that he was on social media, palling off with all sorts of tool, and know say the paperwork was on the brink of expiring, or him know say him did kinda hot. So therefore, sin away, JACKAR, and then Squash definitely Alpha JACKASS. Talk about the next one we're in the vehicle. Fredman, I think his name is. Him know say Squash hot. Him know say there was a double. J-Man and Squash name a call up. Him know say him not have no sorts of paperwork. However, he was still willing. He was that faithful to Squash. So people, that's why I tell you, these press button, follow backer, so-called GANGSTER with this hyena mentality. They are no sorts of lone wolves. That is the MO of a set of coward. Them can't defend themselves. So therefore them need a bagger man, a bagger BALLS around them. It is also said a next man was also in the vehicle. Mr. Nobody. He is also a hot man. Me not really know no sorts of news on him. So therefore, me don't want to come spread any sorts of rumors. Now people, the writing has always been on the wall. Because we see say, Squash, name a call up. Squash, always there on social media. So it shows you that these people would prefer the hype, prefer the show off, than to use social media than it was intended for. Pros and cons to everything. The more that you expose yourself, he that exalteth himself shall be abased. The higher that the monkey climb is the more that he is exposed. And we see that all of these young men, they are definitely baits. Because if they was using social media for the right reason, they could have researched and understand the inner workings of how America works. When you go to Rome, you always want to roll with how the Romans roll. You cannot be using the same strategy that you use in a Jamaica, in a America. Two different kettle of fish. It would come back and haunt you. So therefore, these people never realize that, listen, when we dip on social media, a floss, a show off, a stunt on the enemy, it is those same enemies that was going to call the feds over and over and say, listen, the boy at a Jamaica, the boy have X amount of MURDERS in a Jamaica, the boy want all sorts of thing, him name a call upon the double day in a Fort Lauderdale, come give him a check. And not to say that the feds or the state or law enforcement was not watching. Them did I watch them. However, you are accelerating your own demise because of your hypeness, because of your show-offness. People like them say, show-off brings disgrace, and that is exactly what happened. And this is how hype these persons are. They are on social media, showing off, flossing, trying to prove, show and prove to some people that they don't like and don't like them. I never understand this GHETTO mentality on social media. You are show off or try impress people that don't like you and you don't like. What type of DAMN sense that makes? People, don't you realize that these persons don't know if them not streetwise, don't know if them not bookwise? Obviously, they are fully dunce like they claim. They would rather to go down with this sinking ship. They see all the signs. They see all the dominoes falling. They see the bridge burning. However, instead of trying to avoid the problem, them run towards it. Them get some gasoline suit, put it on and jump over the bridge while the bridge is being burnt. All for loyalty, to show and prove that gangsters stick together, for someone that is not loyal. Look at the case with the double as it pertains to Squash and the person that was held for the double. Do you think that Squash is facilitating any sorts of financial help for him? All of these people are unconscionable. That is why they take away innocent people. That is why they don't have any sorts of problem taking away their victims' parents, mother, grandmother, pitney. It is because they don't have any sorts of conscience. They don't have any sorts of heart. Do you think that if something goes down, they are going to change? No, a leopard never changes its spot. That is how they are. It is in their natural dirty instinct to be pieces of shit. That is never going to change. So therefore, why you want to be loyal to somebody that you know is not or will not be loyal to you at the end of the day? But people like me say, it is as if these people are married to the MOB, married to the GANG, married to the 6. So therefore, they are willing to put up this fake facade as if them loyal, they are going to ride and literally DIE, go to prison. For some people that would not do the same for them. These people will actually leave their house, leave their women, come out of them comfortable bed and go roll with man, go on some sorts of apps without anybody giving them any sorts of explanation. They will co-sign, endorse, facilitate any sorts of FUCKRY just for this gang. People, when you talk about keeping it real, this is keeping it real, DUMB. And as sad as it sounds, you would think that once them leave Jamaica and them get some sorts of exposure to foreign and see the greater world, the bigger picture, their mindset would change. But people, this is how they all are. From Tivoli, from Rima, from Jungle, from any sorts of garrison, everywhere they go, they do the same thing. Where you thought that now that they are living in a first world country and have more options, wider world. You would think that their horizon would be widened. You would think that they would have expand their portfolio in the way that they think. All them pre-life, the fact that them have family, them have kids. No, people, they leave from Jamaica. And you think that because of the situation at the garrison, them have to gang up to protect themselves. Them come to America and them farm the same thing. Them farm a fool. And then that is when it all comes crashing down. That is when everybody start ball. Hear what them are going to say. Are the people them bad mind them? Are the blogger bad mind them? Them now want to see people elevate. You have to blame yourself. At sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who put me in this spot? Who burned all the chances that I got? Who is the one that is responsible for everything that is happening to me negatively? It is because all of the negativity that you've lived in and you continue to go. People, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different result. One thing that works in Jamaica, because the system is woefully inept, it is not going to happen in America. America, you are dealing with the best investigators, best law enforcement on planet Earth. It is on par with everybody else, even better. So therefore, what do you expect to happen when you are there in all sorts of criminal activity and then on social media showing the whole world that this is what you are about? That is not a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for failure. But people like them say, he who fails to prepare, prepares to fail. This is an epic failure as it pertains to gangsterism. This is what you should not do. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.